Hey everybody, it's Tammy Espatia from Unbreak Your Life, where the broken pieces of your life can become a beautiful mosaic. And I captioned this Worthy Wednesday to give you some lessons from one of my clients, and I asked her if I could do this. She said okay. It's really interesting. It's typical of what we do as women when we are in the dating scene, especially when we're vulnerable and we're, in a desperation mode. Anyway, so she was telling me about a gentleman she had been dating for about a month, and she told me about it a while back, and so I just kind of was hoping to see how it would play out. Anyway, so she ran into a friend. She was out doing some things with some friends of hers, and there was about 10 women there. It was like a ladies' night out thing, and there were a couple people there that she didn't know that were friends of other friends. So she sat next to this one girl randomly just to kind of get to know her, and because it was kind of a group thing. So she got to know this girl, and as they were talking, she was, this other girl was telling my client about that she was in the middle of a divorce, but she was still living with her husband, but yet she was dating. And okay, that's another story. That's another issue we'll talk about on another Worthy Wednesday. So my client was talking to her about her dating escapades and what was going on, and then this other woman was telling her about this one guy, and they realized that they were dating the same guy. Small world, kind of funny, right? So I thought that was interesting. So she went on to tell me that because she found this out, my client, because she found this out, it brought her down. She was depressed for a couple of days, and it really took her out of sorts. And so I started to think about this and really wanted to get a grasp of the lessons learned here. First of all, she said she knew there were some red flags. And guess what? She chose to ignore them. She ignored the red flags that were there, and I said, well, what were they? And she said, well, he always kept postponing or rescheduling our dates, and he would never follow through on his calls when he said he was going to call. And she did say that she got kind of intimate with him, but not too much, but she just assumed, so another lesson, she assumed that they were going to be exclusive. They were only seeing each other for a month when he did say he was dating, So she allowed her assumptions and to take her out and get her depressed about this whole thing. So the second thing is I wanted to share with you guys is this is a lesson for us to think about. And I told her, I said, you're in a very vulnerable situation right now. You just got divorced. You are emotionally distraught still, even though you think you're fine and you're getting counseling. You're still not ready emotionally to handle this kind of a thing, this case in point. And I said, you're still giving off a vibe and attracting the kind of guy who wants to take advantage of women like you. And they know it, they can smell it. It's like they can smell it. It's weird. Anyway, so we women who are in this situation give off this vibe of desperation, this vibe of loneliness, this vibe of, I'll take anything you give me, and then we settle. I talked about that last week, about not settling. And so what we need to do is really, really make sure we are prepared to start dating, that we're prepared to make sure that we feel worthy enough to attract the right guy. Because in this situation, she's not ready. She still doesn't feel worthy enough to attract the right guy. And we're getting there. She and I are working together, and she's getting there, and she gets it. And it's hard. It's a struggle. It's a growth path that is narrow, but it's going to get wider and wider, and it's going to get shorter and shorter. She'll get there. And I know you guys can too. You'll get there. However, it's going to take patience, it's going to take work on your part, and it's going to take dedication. So find me on my website, www.unbreakyourlife.com. You can message me and let me know if you want some extra help. If you have any questions, I'd love to answer any of your questions. and let me know if I can help you. So for today's Worthy Wednesday is to get yourself prepared. Get ready for the dating scene. Make sure that you know what you want. I've talked about this ad nauseum. Know what you want and don't stray. Okay? Know what you want. Write it down. Top 5 non-negotiables. Make sure you know what they are so you can look for them at the very beginning. And those red flags, that's your instinct. That's your heart telling you something. You need to listen to your heart. Don't run away from it. Don't, say and just pass it off as, oh, that was weird. You need to listen. Your heart tells you everything. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful week. I'll talk to you next Wednesday. Have a great weekend. Thanks. Bye.